Welcome to the question of the day. Today's question is from Aaron in Kansas. Aaron asks, should we be using a load calc in our HVAC sales process? I've seen some companies that don't and some that do. That's a great question. And my answer to that question is it depends. It depends. I would say yes, you absolutely should be doing a load calc if it adds value. And so I would say yes to anything that adds value. If it adds value to your process and the company and your presentation and you, like if it adds value, absolutely yes, right? I would say yes if it differentiates you from the competition. So it's one thing that makes you stand out amongst the competition. I would say yes then. I would say yes if it's simple. I like things that are simple and weave into your process very easily. I would say yes if it's easy to understand. So from the customer standpoint, they understand it and they don't have to understand it at like a super deep level, but they realize it's not just like HVAC magic. So they understand it. And I would say yes if it doesn't add a ton of time to the process. So mostly I would say yes, but I would also say no if kind of the opposite of those things. If it's hard to understand, because I've seen a lot of load calcs that are super complicated and it goes right over the customer's heads. And we know a confused mind says no. So if we make it complicated, if we make the customer feel dumb, they're going to say no. And they're probably going to say something like, well, maybe I need to look at another option. Maybe I need to talk to somebody else. Maybe I need to talk to my spouse. Maybe it's going to create objections. So no, if it's hard to understand. No, if it's complicated. Okay, so if they think it's HVAC magic, no. And no, if it adds a lot of time to the process. So I've ridden with companies where consistently, because they do their load calcs, it's 3+ hour sales calls. And so that's getting too long. I mean, your sales call should be like an hour to 2 hours. And rarity if you have to go 3 hours. That's like a unique situation. But I've seen companies that are consistently over 3 hour calls. If you're in my house for over 3 hours, I'm like, what are you doing here? Um, in fact, I was riding along one time and we had seen a customer and we had set expectations at the beginning and they had told us they had 90 minutes. They had to run in 90 minutes. Now, that's an indicator for me that if I'm going to be presenting, I should probably be presenting about that 60-minute mark. So you're making a decision there of like, can I get my process in and be presenting in 60 minutes? Or do I need to start setting up a second phone call because that customer's leaving at the 90-minute mark? And so I need to decide which of those I can do. Now we didn't do any of those. We did the load calc. And because of the load calc, it pushed us right to that 90 minutes where we were presenting. And the customer's like, I gotta go. Like, yeah, just let me look at the pricing quick. And they walked out the door. And so in that situation, I wish the salesperson would have either A, skipped the load calc to present at the 60-minute mark, or B, planned a second visit. Like get as far as they can with the load calc, but then plan that second visit to come back. I think either one of those options would have been better than I got the options and now they're like, yeah, quick show them to me because I'm running out the door in 10 seconds here. Um, so no, if it's hard to understand, complicated, or adds too much time to the process. And here's the thing, today there is so many tools and AI software that make this super easy to execute, incredibly fast, simple to understand from the customer's perspective, and it separates you from the competition. So the answer should probably be yes. And if it's a no, well, you should probably just get a better load calc process. Like there's really no reason if you want to do load calcs that you can't do it fast and efficient. Because here's some things that a load calc does for you. A load calc is going to build instant credibility. It demonstrates professionalism, that you're the top of your industry, and it separates you from those other ones that are just like penciling it out and HVAC magic. It positions you as a trusted advisor. So you're not a quote machine. You're not diagnosing and guessing. you're giving them exact answers that elevates that conversation. And so it creates a fact-based recommendation, especially when it comes to system sizes. So if you're having a conversation with a customer, they're thinking, this is the size I have. I should have that exact same size. So if we're upsizing or downsizing, it's not just an opinion. There's fact based in this. So it reduces that customer skepticism and that second guessing. So it also improves the sizing accuracy. I've seen where multiple companies have come out and they all recommend completely different sizes. It avoids that. And so you have that data behind it and you're more accurate in that size that the customer is going to need. This is also going to support your pricing, right? So because you're a top tier professional here, it's going to justify why your price differs from the competition because you're clearly different than the competition. And so it makes those cheaper bids look cheaper. So it supports your pricing. This is also going to reduce your callbacks and your warranty issues. So when you got proper sizing, you're going to get better performance, better longevity, fewer complaints, and happier customers. So better overall experience there. It's going to strengthen your close rate because customers trust this and there's data behind it, especially today. Today, we're in a market where customers, they're starting to lean towards repairs or they're leaning towards, I need those solutions that are going to long-term save me money. They're going to be the best bang for the buck. That's going to tie into this here, that your solutions are the ones that are going to make them feel warm and fuzzy and comfortable. So it's transparent and something that they can trust. It also differentiates your process. So it differentiates you as a professional, but it differentiates your process as well. Everybody walking in the front door probably has a very similar looking process. This is going to make your process look different. It's going to make your process look more professional and harder for competitors to replicate. This is also going to protect the company. It's going to protect you and the company. So it's going to align with industry best practices, industry standards, and it's going to reduce that liability from improper sizing. So you have something to fall back on there. This creates something that's repeatable. So a lot of these tools that I've worked with and used and see companies using, especially in that AI space, it's super simple. If you can navigate an iPhone, you can navigate this. My kids could figure this out. All right. They just need some information, but manipulating it, they can figure these tools out. So it's super easy. Customers understand it as well. And it opens up deeper conversations with your customer. You're not just coming out to look at the HVAC. You're talking about things like insulation, windows, ductwork, airflow, indoor air quality. You're having such a deeper level conversation with the customers that it also ties into long-term thinking and efficiency. Because like I said, customers today, they're looking for that long-term solution. What's going to be the best bang for the buck? This is going to tie into that long-term solution. So you're not just thinking about today's sale, you're thinking about their lifetime comfort. That's what builds trust and also gets you referrals. So there you go. Simple and easy? Yes. Complicated and long? I would say no, or get a better tool. So that's today's question of the day. If you're enjoying question of the day, follow, share, and give a rating. Question of the day is on major streaming platforms. If not, keep it to yourself. If you have a question, reach out to me either on social media or email. Both are going to be listed below in the show description. Or if you're an X-Star member, schedule a call with me. Let's address your situation one-on-one. I'm Coach Chris. We'll see you tomorrow.